Welcome to Microtopia. My name is Nilaus and this is a showcase video of the new colony factory game Microtopia. Thank you to Goblins Publishing for sponsoring this video of Microtopia. Check out the link below for more information. So what is Microtopia? Well, in Microtopia you become the hive queen of a robot ant colony. Use pheromone trails to create, automate and optimize supply chains for your ants to follow. Collect resources, produce goods, feed the queen, grow the colony and fly to expand your species. It is great to see a factory colony game that tries to do something new. If you want logistics done with belts and inserters, we can play Factorio all day. So when new games try something innovative, it is exciting, especially when it works as well as it does in Microtopia. Now, I rarely take sponsorships on this channel, but when I do, it is because the game looks interesting in and of itself. So this sponsorship is for showcasing on the channels. Any opinions expressed here are my own. And of course, if you want to see more of this game on the channel, then hit the like button and it can turn into a full Let's Play series. Now let's dive in. And we're in the game, and it says intro. There will be a tutorial that we need to just follow to get started on the game. You are the hive mind of the robot ant colony. Follow your instincts to build a thriving colony. Click complete. So instinct 1, you can look around in the environment using the camera, so that's usual things we can do here. And then also just rotate the camera, the usual stuff. Good, that's easy. So we are here, and every colony needs a queen. What we want to do is we have some energy pods here, we have some scrap, those are the resources here, and later on we also have some fiber here. So I think we'll plop down the queen sort of here. That's probably a fine place, and there's an input and an output side of a queen. That's just how queens work. There we go. Every colony and start with a queen. You can select her from the build menu, place the queen and wait for her to land. So she looks like this. I like the idea that it's kind of electronics and also kind of anti. So there we go, we have deployed, and we have 4 of these little robots here. Instruct the worker to pick up a piece of scrap. So these ones, you can make these little tracks here, and then once they go up over here, they will follow those pheromone trails that you leave. It's a really cool way of sort of having the ant logic of pheromone trails, and also just kind of sort of just make it into game mechanics the like. We're going to place all buildings can be rotated. That's a little bit weird, but you get used to it the way that it works. And then we have to take you and then put you over here. You can see when it gets close enough to a location, there's going to be a little action flag. That means it does something with it nearby. You don't have to tell it to go and drop off. You just get nearby, and then it will kind of deduce what it's supposed to do. Logic-wise, we have 5 ants. We have here the queen. And for workers, and on the inventory we have 1 scrap iron. So now we need to get all the other ones, and interestingly enough, you can see they can't walk through things, so you kind of have to steer them around. It doesn't really make it's not really a problem, because it's so rare that they need to do anything. And of course this is going to be woefully inefficient here. We can make a trail. Okay, good. So let's make a trail. This is the first thing. We do a hauling trail, then we do it goes over nearby this, it goes over nearby this, it goes over nearby this, and then it goes back, looping back. Then we can take all 3 of these and loop them in on this all here, and then they start working on this trail. They drop off, they go here, they interact with the first thing they come in contact with, and then they will ignore the rest because nothing happens there. You can drag these points around, you can insert new points. It's super intuitive and super easy to expand these networks here. And you can see the workers are just busy little, not bees, but busy little ants getting us the first step. So this is like the basic way. Instead of belts, then you build these kind of supply chains. Really cool. Soon birth of first larva. You can grow larva into new worker by using an incubator. So now we need to make an incubator. Let's make that kind of nearby where the queen is, so that that's going to be a short path here. And we will then make that's here. We will then make a little path here, and you can't make paths that are 2, so you kind of have to have some kind of. I'll take you, and you can then go up on the other loop. So then once they go in a loop, they kind of get stuck on this loop. And which I think is a super interesting, super amazing way of working here. And I'm kind of thinking that I want to do it sort of different. Let's do the queen downwards here, like that. And we got the first one here. There, the queen needs an energy source to produce. Yes. And erasing things, super easy, then they just get stuck. This, we are just going to be having to get you out from here. And I'm going to send you over to do some hauling. No, some here. There. This is where we harvest energy pots. The flowers are the energy pots here. And we just want to go around to get as many of these as possible. And then we would like to get all of it, but it's really not important to get all of it at this point. And then loop it back here. Good. Right. And then we can... Another really, really nice thing is you can actually just move things and it doesn't cost anything to move it. So we're going to be placing this over here. There. Reason why is because I actually want my foraging... There. I want them to go in here. Whatever they do, forage. And there's a different kind of line. You can see that the green line, that's a white line. White line is a hauling line. Green line is foraging. That means they will start doing foraging on that path. Our original one here, they are infinite, so they don't expire. While the new ones we create here, they are going to expire. And what we need to do is make a stockpile, obviously. And we'll make a stockpile here. And we see that there's now a little action flag here. So we'll build a stockpile here. But we are not actually asked for that. We are asked for a specific thing, and that is actually feeding it one here. So that's something we'll do it in a little bit more automated way afterwards. And we have someone just going here. Okay, so we feed and complete it, and then keep producing more workers until you have 10. Perfect. Right, so now we need to go here, and then we want to optimize something else. These are now going in, so there'll be more on this loop. We want more on this loop, and then we can have something here that we haven't even been told yet, but we'll know it. This is a dispenser. It's really a cool feature, because what it does is it basically links. This is where you pick up from this location, and it has unlimited range, and you can have as many of them as possible. So you can have multiple dispensers linked to a single one, and they have infinite range. I mean, on the same island, which I think is ridiculously amazing, and something that is super unintuitive when you get started playing this game, and you might just not understand why it works like that. But it's super helpful. So that means we can now also make a little loop here, so we don't have to go around there, and then we can have another little one of these drones here. Oh, you need to drop off. It should be one of those that have dropped off. You can go up here and then be on this loop. Yeah. Or, you know what, we can also do something else right now, because it's not really going to take so much effort, so we can just remove this and then say, hey, what about if we make a loop that goes like this, and then maybe that's going to be fine. Complete the 10, and these, oops, we remove that, and we've moved this over here. Good. So it's going to be one drone that takes in here, then it goes up and picks up an energy pod, puts it in here. By the time it goes down here, then the queen will have produced an extra one. Scrap iron can be processed into iron on a smelter. Build a smelter and use it to produce 10 iron ingots. Place them on a stockpile. So build smelter, get iron blocks. Great. So we now have the scrap, and again we can use the dispenser to set up. And then that means we could actually make it over here if we want to, or down here if we want to. There's no reason for us to build it closer, further away. But what we'll just build it somewhere to start with. The beautiful thing here now is that we have all of our drones are coming in here, and they are going around, and then one is going in here and feeding. Then we can kind of go, should we have one more feeding? Yeah, maybe we'll have one more feeding. So we can just move it over to that. Later on, we'll get much more advanced stuff. So here, I need a production. I basically just need a, like this, here. And I will also need a stockpile, which I'll base here. So it's basically just a 3-point location, like this. And you are going to be set to smelt iron. And then I need a dude over here. you can go over there. And we can also see that this is not working anymore. This has stopped working. There and here. So now we just extend our pathing so that it reaches new scrap. This is something you kind of have to be a little bit aware of. I'll do that just to grab those. And there we go. We get the smelter. The issue we have now is that if we wanted to put more on this line here, it kind of gets stuck, and the pheromone trails, they can't overtake on the pheromone trails, so it can't really go around it until we have some new innovation here that will come along a little bit. It same goes for here, and as they go around, it picks up if there's something to pick up. Oh yeah, we have max population of 10. Ooh. Okay. We can't get... Yeah, there we go. There's another one. Yep, got it. Feed it, and then go in here. We can't see how many are on this path, but we know that there's a lot. We probably need a little bit more on this one for the scrap harvesting. So once we birth the first one, then I think that makes good sense to get you. There. I'm just gonna grab you. Come on, little one. Get over there and go on the other loop instead. It so works super well when you have these kind of small loops. We can even go to the point, because these things here are generally pretty cheap. So we could do something like this here, and then I'm here and there, so that they will now be able to feed to. See, this little dude here was running around. You can see it's also fading. It's becoming gray, and that means it doesn't have a lot of lifespan left. That is a problem eventually. Final piece in the stockpile. There we go. Completing mission. And use iron to build a workshop. Alright, so now we have a workshop being built. And the workshop is, again, we can build it wherever we want. I'm just going to build it over here. Like that. The workshop. And that can make screws. Okay, we see here. That means iron in stockpile and screws in stockpile. Now, iron is incredibly important. And it also takes 4 of these. So, this is going to be tricky. However, we also have new stuff, which makes things a lot more interesting here. So what we have is, we have now a divider. That is, the way that it works, I wanted to see the tutorial, but I guess I didn't. So you can make different lines, and that means every time it comes in, it'll go to one, and then this switch will switch over to another one. Then we have a counter, which is amazing. The counter will just make sure that you only send a certain amount to a certain location. So let's start redoing some things here and using the new counter system. We're going to have a loop here. This one just is a loop where they are going. So what I'm going to do is I want to say, hey, this loop here, I would like to have 5. So I exit here, make an exit off this path. This exit will always be highest priority. Oops. Then I'm saying I want 5 in this sub-network, and then I make it there. Good. So now it'll count here that there's 5, and then it won't be sending anymore. You can see here it is illustrating that there is enough. There's actually 6 because I just sent in 1 extra. Then we can also send someone over to this area where we just want to say, well, do we have 1? Yeah, we have 1, but we probably need more. We need to overhaul that with the splitter things. Yeah, let's start by showing how the splitter works by just redoing this part. We're going to need to start making a few more of the workshops here. They're cheap. So that's going to be like that and that. Do we 3? Sure. Doesn't say how fast it builds. It just kind of says it does it. Let's see. I can also remove you to be good. So now it gets a little bit complicated. It goes here, and then I switch over to going in this direction, and then in. Oops. It's kind of weird to do it this way. I have to... Let me see. Let's do that. It's because I don't have a grid. We'll get a grid later on. So you're gonna go up here, and then it'll go from... It goes in, and then goes into each of these. And then it kind of goes back somewhere, and we can make it in a neat, orderly manner, or we can not. There, actually, this one here, this one here, and you are going to be moved to that location. Good. That's an action flag. Good. All right. So what this does is basically, if we want to put 3 on here, we forgot a location. This one, which we'll have here. Good. You're going to be on this loop, so we'll just see that it goes in. The reason why I do it this way is because they will get stuck out here. And that means the next one has to go somewhere else. So I want 3 on this loop. That means I can do... can I can just move this a little bit away. This one goes down here, and this one goes down here. And then we take another exit, and this exit... there, 3, and go over on that loop. So it'll take 3 over, and that will be circulating. So when one dies, a new one will be sent over. Great. So that's how it works. We are going to be sending more over on the other loop here, and this is an incredibly simple and yet really powerful tools to get this done. There. So you go over there on that build. So I want 10 of these. Look at that. That's actually kind of a lot. We also want to send someone over here. And that means we now need to make a workshop build. I have 12. I want to make many more workshops. How many workshops do I want to make? I mean, the idea would be 5, wouldn't it? Now I can't do more. Can I? Yeah, see, I don't have the money for it. But I want 5. Why 5? Because then I have 4 working on the plates, which I want, and then 1 working on the other stuff. So, we're going to be sort of positioning it here in the middle. I will be getting in here, and in there, and towards that, and towards that. Good. And then we can do basically the same. We'll do all these so that they get these action flags. And then I'm going to take... I'm just going to go this way out here. And now I can make it return. So this will be where I get the stockpile. That's over here. That one. And then I go with a pickup. Oops. That. I have not specified where this is going to be picked up from. And all of these will now be connected. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll get it. That's not it. There. Because now they go in, and then they go back on a return belt and go away. So what I want to do is this one is not built, but these are going to make plates, 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 plates. And you will be making... oh, crap. Yeah, they need separate locations, of course. You're going to be over there. And that one will not be there. I will need a separate stockpile. So you're going to have a stockpile there. You will be working on screws, yes. And you will be working on plates. Great. There we go. See, that works. All these 4 collect and go over and drop it off here, while the last one goes in and goes here. So that's the screws and the plates, and you will be plates soon enough. What do we want to do here? We want to have 5 working on this lane, so we want to go to here. We'll do an exit. And this exit will take 5 and go in here. All right. Already getting some... oh, this one is not specified to anything. So this one is going to pick up from here. Which obviously is not really happening anytime soon. The reason why is because we're using all of it for the construction. Yay! The construction is complete. Make plates. So I have now overbuilt this by a lot. These are 5, and the screws, they just need 1 for 1. and they go in while the other ones need 4. And hopefully we'll get 4, and if we don't, then I guess we just need to add more. Because we want a lot of production here, so we can always just add more here, right? And then that will be just over on another fork in the road here. And she'll go in and back out there and return. It's that simple. And then all I need to do here is saying get that up to 4 so that they will be alternating here. Great. So in the meantime, what else have we done? We have built the stockpile, is fine. These are working. We are up to 24. Damn, it's close. Actually, max production is 24, 25. When this bar fills up, then you get to the next stage, and then your population can increase. So it goes up to 10, and then as we filled up the bar, the queen advances, and then you can get more. So if we feed it fast enough that it goes up here, then we can actually get it, get more. We can also see another little problem here. We have not feeding it. We're not feeding it back onto itself. So let's say, actually, let's be a little bit greedy here. There we go, 3. And this is a little bit of a problem because this will be hard to maintain. And I'd really like something like this one to be first, because that's a little bit more important, to be honest. So maybe I'll actually do it in a different way. If it's more important, then I will be making it first. So let's, yeah. This will be 3. And then go in here. So the first thing that happens after these go out is that they go in and check this one. And I want 3 of them in here. Because that we have enough food and the food doesn't expire, so we can do that. Iron plates and stockpile, not working, but we should be seeing... Oh, right. Why does that... Yep. We'll just... Okay, there's a bit of desynchronization here, but I think that's going to be working fine. So now the first one goes in. Going in. That's because they didn't have enough in here to be exporting. Yep. So it's working, and we get a little bit of stockpile. We got 3. We got... Is nothing going over here? That one and that one. Yeah, okay. It's because sometimes they go empty. That works fine. And we now have 3 on this line. That means we're going to be feeding it faster, and that means it's more likely to increase. That's good. And we got the first mission completed here, and we're then getting the last screw is being here. So pick up. And sometimes they just pass by, but there's nothing to pick up. Yeah, pick up, because we can't make more right now, so it's only now doing at a replenishment rate. And there we go. With Microtopia, you can upgrade workers to enhance their lifespan and capabilities. Build a combiner and use it to combine 2 small into 1 regular worker. Right, so that means all of this has to be redone. Lovely. Because now this is not a great place to build it. Okay, well, I should have thought about that. Right, so what we need to do is we need to do a combiner, which costs a lot of resources here, and I think we need to scale things up. So this will take 2 inbound and get 1 worker outbound. The workers here, these workers, they only last for 5 minutes, but if we can, small workers, and if we can combine 2 of them, then we get a better worker that lasts for 10 minutes. Yay! That's twice a long life, so it should actually be worth it. Right, so that means we need to redo this in a little bit. There's actually a lot of redoing. Luckily, we can just hit pause and then do a redesign. So now we are actually building this. It looks quite neat. I think we are getting this. We are of course not having enough of this because we need more screws, I guess. Screws. Okay, so what I've done is I've moved it up here. So we have a little loop feeding the queen. The queen is almost leveling up. So very close to leveling up and should be leveling up. Now we get a population of 50, which we can go in here and then that can go in. They go in 2 of them and they get combined. Everything is awesome and amazing. And luckily, hopefully, maybe we will also get, like, that's the next one going in. We're kind of a little bit missing here, so that goes in and gets 1 more screw. I don't think I'm gonna need the screws so much, but let's see. Do we have any idle workers anywhere? No, not really. We have 28 workers. That seems really good. We have 3 of them feeding up here. Oh, we don't have a way to feed this loop. This loop here is not going to do anything because I'll just be... Yeah, get that. Let's see. I actually want to feed that loop first. So I'm going to take you... Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay. And I'm going to take you out. And that was 5, we said? Yes, 5 up for the smelting part. And I'm going to take 3 out here. That is going to be up for this loop. There. So that we make sure that this gets fed continuously. And keep producing until 5 regular workers. Nice. So we will eventually replace all our workers with these workers. That's great. And you can combine regular workers again to create inventor ants. That's pretty cool. But do we want to create inventor ants? Well... Ideally, we'd want to replace all of them first, and then only afterwards, after we've replaced all of them, or after we saturate it. So that means if I put it here at the end, then that means this is where it's going to be. So I guess I need another one of these combiners. That's going to be another expensive thing. I'm going to put it up here, even though I'm going to kill some of that part. Well, maybe I'll just build it something like this. And I'm going to be making an export, which is going to be... I only want 1 in here, so yeah. And this one should be 1, because I don't really want things stuck here. I just really want to, once it's filled up with everything, I want to go in here. It'll send in one in, which will go into one location. The next one goes to the other location. Then it'll come out as an inventor ant out on the other side. But that's going to take a while, as you can see, because we want to replace all of our normal ants, or all our small ants with the bit better worker ants. The first worker ants are now being transformed into an inventor ant over here, and in the meantime, well, all of these have been kind of replaced. It would be nice if they didn't have to go sort of all that way, but they will. This inventor ant is, well, this is how we unlock the tech tree, which I think is a super cool thing, and definitely something we want to showcase as well. And we need this to be commanded one. Okay, so you can actually see now that they are actually standing in line, and I'd rather have them move around another loop than going in here. We could also just say, okay, well, let's get some more onto something else. There we go, we got it completed. So inventor ants can unlock new buildings and recipes. To do so, they need to be fed by other ants. This can be done by using an inventor pad. So we now have a new inventor pad over here, and that kind of has to be built like that. There, and I'm going to be moving it over here. Should be pretty simple, and then it needs to be fed by some stockpile here. So that is means we need another. The good thing about this is how easy it is to move this, and here I'm going to go out here because I'm probably going to need more than one, and you're going to go in here. Good, and these are also not working. You go in there and you go in there, and then that's ready. So we need a dispenser. That's gonna be here. Place dispenser up like that, probably. Here. And I'm going to make sure that I get someone out here. Let's get 2 of those out here. 21 is maybe a little bit too much there. And you go out and in onto this loop. So this loop is also working. I'm making all my loops clockwise. I don't know if you noticed, but I have. Why is this not working? It is the wrong way. Like that. There. There we go. Now it goes in. And then it's going to be fed. Okay, let's build another one of these because clearly I needed it. It is... The dot is inbound here. And these are going to be extended beyond that and beyond that. And then maybe just get an extra one in here. So this will use a lot of energy. This is why we need to keep this flowing. And here's another issue we have, is that this keeps working. I think I want to do something different. And do that. Oh, that doesn't work. That's fine. But what I can do is I can make here and then say you only want one on that loop. So it won't be able to go out if there's more than one loop. Oh, look at that. The bubble is full. Oh, not really. There we go. Once an inventor and is full, you can click on it to gain the inventor points. These points can be used to unlock technology nodes in the technology tree. Let's pop it. And then it dies. And then another one goes in, and these ones just... So they need to be fed 10, and then they blow up, and then you can click on them soon. Okay, so unlock radar tower. That's the next thing we want to do. This looks pretty good, and we actually have a lot of these working around here, and I think we're going to need a little bit more on this loop. Because this is going to be needing a lot of energy to keep these fed. Yeah, okay. Actually, here's another cool little thing. Because this can work in multiple locations, that we can just build as many of these as we like. Isn't this cool? So they go pop, pop. And it goes in. That means the next one's allowed to go in, which will go around. And they will be fed immediately. And if there's some in both, then that also works great. Yeah, and these will just circle around. Then they go over, pick up more, put in the next. That's brilliant. Let's have a look at the tech tree, because this tech tree is amazing. We can click this, so we get the radar tower, then it unlocks the next one. Plant cutting, and also get to a point where we have 50 ants. So we can track this, or actually we have it, 50 ants already. And then we get over to, yay, iron tile floor, that's what we need. Old gate is super amazing. That's a way to recycle older ants. Assembler unlocks new kind of ants. Plant cutting can go into fabric, which goes into all sorts of things. And the tech tree is a really nice one. It's also really, really big. Really, really big. So isn't that amazing? And this is also really cool because this is not one of those early access games that has like 10 hours of playthrough and then you're done. And then you sort of hope and wait that something more will be added in a year's time. No. This is a full release. So you have the full game and it has a very expansive tech tree. And so there's a lot of things that we can do here. We completed that. And now we need to make the radar tower, which is going to be something that will unlock new capabilities. We want to just unlock this just to get see how cool that is. What are we missing actually? Oh, we're missing some screws. Funny. So having one of these making screws isn't quite enough apparently. Oh well. So we now built the radar tower and we can now make contact, which is going to be the last thing we do here in the first episode. So let me say, as we complete this one, and let's do a round off of the first episode. So thank you very much to Goblins Publishing for sponsoring this first look video. I am really happy that they chose to do that, of course, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten a look at this game, and I think it's super amazing. I think that just these small gates and the way that it's not belts and inserters is super interesting, and there's just a huge amount of potential. And I think that really potential unlocks once you get also, for example, the old gate, then you have to manage like the lifespan as well. There are tons of other gates and different types, and then you can make some really complex logistical systems. Also, very, very importantly, we can go over here to the iron tile floor, so we can get iron tiles underneath, and then it'll look a lot more like a Nilaus base and less like a spaghetti mess. So tons of interesting things to do. Once we unlock this, here we will also see that the game is much bigger than what it looks like right now. We can keep expanding, we can automate things and make it sort of more of a... But this game really just lends itself into optimize things. Like you really, if you end up sort of not having like a distribution loop like this, then it's going to be an issue, right? You need to make sure that each of these factories are self-replenishing from the base. And there we go, we got a report screen. That's actually not even me clicking anything. So what happens with the report screen is that we completed the radar, and then we get some reports about what was created. So here we can complete this one, reveal a new island, and then we get to see some really cool stuff, and that is we have generated a new island. Or not generated, but we found a new island. This island is very different. It's very different. It has other materials. It has copper, rubble. That's also the different type of trees. So really exciting that we can get there, and we'll have to figure out how to get there. And then we can look at this. You can also see it's kind of in the microscope that we sort of change the focus, and then we complete it. Now, a new island offers undiscovered materials, but regular walking ants won't be able to reach it. You'll need to create ants capable of flight, which will be something we'll take a look at in the next episode. So if you want to see a next episode, which will just be a normal Let's Play here on my channel, then be sure to hit the like button. That's how I gauge whether there's an interest for a game or not. So that's gonna be it for the first episode. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to Goblins Publishing for sponsoring this video. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.